This is how you normally see a swing arm work. A ball is dropped in at the top, the arm swings round and the ball's decanted out at the bottom. And let's say normally this is a vertical process with the top being up here and the ground being down here. The difference with this is a horizontal drop, and I'll show you how I developed it. This is obviously a very simple mechanism, but I've made myself a very precise little bearing arrangement that you'll see. I've got this central bearing assembly at about 10 degrees off vertical, and I'm getting just over 110 degrees of arc there, and I'm getting that for a height difference. I'll move that. For a height difference of about 50 millimeters, if I'm getting that. Yeah, so the difference in height there is about 50 millimeters. Obviously I've still got a long way to go with this, but this is just the basis of something that I'm looking at, and I may develop it further into a wheel. But this little bearing arrangement is, I'm going to say, very lively. It's a very smooth action. Anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go with this part of the video, but the rest of it I'll show you how I developed that. This is just a sweet wrapper. This is just a bit of bent wire getting in the way to stop things, but that's the bearing arrangement. Obviously I've got these counterweights on here, which I can slip those off. And give you some idea of the quality of the bearing assembly. And I think if I'm going to make something, I want to make something that will last for many years, and I think reasonably that's got a good chance. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Hi guys, I wanted to share this with you. I'm getting on with this little rolling ball sculpture and having a bit of fun with it, and as you can see it's not a finished project yet by a long way, but I'm interested in making different mechanisms to use within the sculpture. I haven't incorporated any sort of mechanisms into it yet, other than this little drop down arrangement that I've got here, which just takes the ball off the top level and takes it down to the second level. But I want to create something that is some sort of sweeping arm that carries a ball, and I'll try and explain a bit better. I've seen any number of sculptures where there's a tipping arm that has some sort of cup arrangement at the top, and a ball is dropped into the cup, and then it pivots down and it decants it out of the bottom, and the arm goes back up again. And I think, yep, that's fine, that's interesting, but it takes up a lot of space. You know, maybe if you want to use a lot of space up quickly, that's good, but you know, losing 150mm, 6 inches for a single action seems a bit wasteful. So I've been trying to think, what can I do so that I have the same sort of mechanism, a swinging arm, but I want to do something more like this. So the ball, hope I'm getting that on the video, the ball is decanted into a cup at the top, and then it pivots down. So there I've just got a little counterweight on it. And I think, yeah, I could make something like that would work. But I'd like something that is a better bearing than that. I try to think, if I'm making a sculpture that I want to last for many years and be reliable and repeatable, a bearing like this with not a lot of force on it, the ball on there, I could imagine it coming to a point where maybe you get a bit of stiction and it's not so good. So what I've done is I've come up with a little bearing assembly, and I better zoom in for this. The idea is that this bearing assembly takes the place of sort of trying to pivot something on the end of a piece of wire. And what I've got is I've got a brass tube, and inside I've got 2 ball races. Lovely little things. The ball race is got a 3mm internal diameter, and I think it's what is it? I think it's got a 3mm internal diameter and an 8mm external diameter, and so what I've got is this inner 3mm rod that I've tapped at either end and put these M3 knots on, and then that tube acts as a shoulder for the bearing to sit on. Then I've made some little spacers at the end that go on there, of a bearing at the other end. And these are quite nice precision little bearings, and it should make the whole thing run a lot smoother than just a bit of wire. And then the idea is that this little tube is just the right size, 8mm ID, 9mm OD, and then to actually hold the bearing assembly in place, what I've done is, with a jeweler's saw, I've cut these little T-slots. So in the end of the tube I've cut a slot that's like that and like that. And the idea is that if you look down on this tube, once the bearing and the nut is put into there, I'll be able to just fold in these ends. So that'll just hold the bearing in place, and I've got the same thing at either end of the tube. So let me see. So if you imagine the tube is like this, and what I'll do is once the assembly is in place, the bearing assembly, I'll bend those ears in, top and bottom, and that'll stop the bearing from moving out. But what it does mean is, in the future, if I wanted to take it apart, I would be able to open those up and slide the bearing out if it was needed for any reason. But I wanted to show you, I wanted to make a video of this now, because once I do assemble it, I don't really want to take it all apart, just to show you how it's made. Anyway, and then for the arms, what I will do is I've got 2 bits of brass rod that I've shaped, and they will go around the tube. They'll be brazed in place before I finish the final assembly, and then that should look elegant. And I know that I can polish all of this up, and hopefully it'll look attractive. Anyway, I hope you find this interesting, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you are interested, or if you've got any better ideas, or if you've done something similar. So the idea is to have a sideways dropping action rather than just the normal straightforward tipping up and down action, so as I take up less space. All the very best. Bye bye.